Someone once said, if your voice is loud, some people will listen. But if your message is strong, everyone will pay attention. Hi everyone, welcome Tat channel, and today I have an inspiring story for you.
In that prosperous kingdom, the king was a ruler admired by his people, a wise and just sovereign who had brought peace and prosperity to his land. Yet, despite governing an entire empire, his heart remained burdened by a sorrow he could not shake. It was the worry for his only daughter, his beloved princess, who had come of age, yet no suitable suitor had been found. She was not only blessed with breathtaking beauty, but also possessed intelligence, kindness, and a graceful demeanor. As her father, more than anyone else, he longed for her to have a fulfilling life and a worthy companion who would cherish and protect her. But despite the many noble princes and distinguished men who had come forward, none had eased his concerns. He was not seeking a political alliance, nor was he tempted by wealth or power. He simply wanted a man truly deserving of his daughter, not just in status but in character. Night after night, the king lay awake, his tired eyes no longer scanning his vast kingdom, but instead fixed on the palace chamber where his daughter peacefully slept. He feared that one wrong decision could condemn her to a lifetime of suffering. This torment weighed so heavily on him that he could no longer focus on the affairs of the kingdom. And so, in his desperation, he turned to the one person who might offer him guidance: Rajguru, his trusted advisor, a man well versed in fate and destiny. Little did the king know that this decision would change his daughter's fate forever. Rajguru stepped into the royal chamber and immediately noticed the deep sorrow etched onto the king's face. Bowing respectfully, he spoke in a calm, knowing tone. "Your Majesty, what troubles you so deeply?" The king let out a weary sigh, his gaze lost in the distance. "I have only one daughter. She is beautiful, intelligent, and kind. I want to find someone truly worthy of her, but no man has put my heart at ease." A mysterious smile played on Rajguru's lips. "Perhaps I can look at the princess's horoscope. It may hold the answer you seek." Without hesitation, the king ordered the royal astrologers to bring forth the sacred scroll containing his daughter's fate. Rajguru carefully unfolded it, tracing each symbol, studying every celestial alignment. Suddenly, his eyes widened, his pulse quickened. "Your Majesty, the princess is destined for greatness." The king leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. "Tell me everything." Rajguru swallowed hard. He had to conceal his true thoughts, but inside, desire burned like an unquenchable fire. Whoever marries the princess will ascend beyond their wildest dreams. A king will become an emperor will rule the world. But as he uttered those words, a new thought struck him, one that ignited a dangerous ambition. Why should another man claim such fortune? If I marry her, I will be the one to rise to the throne. At that moment, greed clouded his wisdom, and darkness took root in his heart. Rajguru bowed before the king, but within him, a daring plan had already begun to take shape. The hunger for power, the desire he had long concealed behind a mask of loyalty, now burned hotter than ever. He knew that if he revealed the truth about the princess's destiny, the king would soon find a worthy suitor, and all that unimaginable glory would belong to another. That Rajguru could not allow. Instead, he lowered his voice, weaving an air of mystery and fear into his words. "Your Majesty, I fear that the princess's fate is not just one of greatness, but also of destruction." The king's face paled. "What are you saying?" Rajguru's tone became even more solemn, each word sinking into the king's heart like a slow, poisonous drip. "Her destiny is powerful. Whoever marries her will rise beyond imagination. But her marriage may also bring ruin to her own family. If you are not careful, Your Majesty, you may lose everything you have built." The words cut deep. The king had spent years securing his kingdom's prosperity. Could he really risk it all for a single decision? "Then what must I do?" Rajguru's eyes gleamed with hidden intent, though his face remained composed. "Let fate decide. Your Majesty, place the princess in a grand chest filled with jewels and set it adrift upon the river. Destiny will guide her to the man meant for her." The king fell silent. His mind told him this was cruel, yet his heart, gripped by fear, hesitated. And so, the princess's fate was sealed, entangled in a scheme she knew nothing about. The moon hung high in the night sky, casting a pale glow upon the silent river. On the shore, a grand chest, intricately carved and shimmering under the torchlight, stood waiting. In front of it, the princess stood still, her eyes filled with sorrow and confusion. "Father, must it truly be this way?" Her voice trembled not out of fear for herself, but from the heartbreak of being cast into an uncertain fate by the very man who had always protected her. The king could not bring himself to meet her gaze. He turned away, his fist clenching tightly. "I do this only to protect you and the kingdom." The princess bit her lip, tears slipping silently down her cheeks. She did not argue, did not beg. With quiet acceptance, she stepped into the chest, her trembling fingers brushing against the velvet lining. The jewels inside sparkled, but in her heart there was only darkness. The lid closed, the soldiers lifted the chest. They're heavy. Footsteps echoing against the riverbank. Each step, each splash of water, felt like a blade cutting through her soul. And then splash. The chest was cast into the current. The river embraced it, gentle yet indifferent, carrying her further and further away from the home she once knew. She closed her eyes, surrendering herself to fate from the shadows. Rajguru watched in silence, a wicked smile curling on his lips. But what he did not know was that destiny is not something a man can control. The river flowed silently, carrying the chest that held a destiny unknown. The moon's reflection shimmered upon the water, casting silver ripples that seemed to guide the last princess forward. Far away, deep within the forest, a group of hunters rested after a long day's pursuit. Among them, a young prince knelt by the riverbank, cupping cool water in his hands. As it slipped through his fingers, his sharp eyes caught sight of something unusual, a chest drifting in the current. "There's something in the river. Pull it ashore." His voice, firm yet filled with curiosity, rang out. At his command, his soldiers waded into the cold water, straining as they dragged the heavy chest onto solid ground. It was beautifully crafted, yet weighed down as if guarding an immense secret. A moment of silence passed. Then, with a steady hand, the prince lifted the lid. The flickering torchlight illuminated the princess's face. Her eyes opened, shimmering with sorrow, yet retaining an unyielding grace. Though exhaustion and fear clung to her, she carried the quiet dignity of one born to rule. The prince froze, his heart skipping a beat in the stillness of the night. "Who are you? How did you come to be here?" His deep, steady voice pulled her back to reality. The princess trembled slightly, her words soft yet laden with emotion. "I am one cast away by fate, abandoned to the river by my own father. I do not know where I belong anymore." The prince knelt before her, his gaze unwavering, filled with sincerity. "If fate has led you to me, then I will stand beside you. Princess, will you allow me to be your companion on this journey?" Tears fell from her eyes, not of despair, but of quiet relief. And beneath the vast, wind-swept sky, their destinies intertwined. Rajguru stood before the chest that had just been delivered to his chamber, his heart brimming with anticipation. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the moment he would unlock the door to unimaginable power. Turning to his students, he commanded in a voice filled with authority, "Bring it inside my room. No one is to open the door, no matter what happens." The students nodded, trusting their master without question. The heavy door shut behind him, and now, in the dim candlelight, it was just Rajguru and the chest. His heart pounded in excitement, his hands trembling as he reached for the lid. At last, "My destiny is within my grasp." He flung the chest open, but instead of the princess's radiant eyes, a deafening roar filled the air. A pair of blazing, savage eyes locked onto him. It was a ferocious bear. Before Rajguru could react, the beast lunged, its razor-sharp claws slashing through the air. He stumbled back, terror flooding his veins as he desperately searched for an escape. Outside, his students heard the frantic screams. "Master is in trouble. We must open the door." But one of them hesitated, recalling the strict command. "No," he said, "no matter what, we must not open it." Inside, the sounds of snarls, desperate cries, and chaos echoed through the room. Then, suddenly, silence. Rajguru had been consumed by the very greed that had blinded him. Meanwhile, far away, under the same moonlit sky, the princess and the prince stood together, embarking on a new journey, one not of deception and ambition, but of fate and true love. Under the serene moonlight, the river continued to flow, carrying with it the stories of human lives, tales of ambition, deceit, and true love. Rajguru, the scheming man who sought to steal the princess's fate, had met his own tragic end. He had believed he could bend destiny to his will, that with enough cunning and deception, he could claim glory for himself. But fate is not something that can be controlled. In contrast, the prince, one who had never sought power or fortune, had unknowingly unlocked the path to happiness. He did not force destiny, nor did he try to take what was not meant for him. Instead, through his sincerity and noble heart, he was rewarded with the most precious gift of all, love and a future filled with promise. The princess, once cast away by her own father into the unknown, had finally found her place in the world. She was no longer bound by predictions or fears. In the end, it was not fate that decided her happiness, but the choices of her heart. This tale serves as a reminder that greed and deception only led to downfall, while integrity and sincerity paved the way for true fulfillment. Destiny is not something to be stolen. It finds its way to those who are truly deserving, in ways and moments that no one can predict.